CTV News with Ricardo, Veneza.
Well, there it is, another dazzling display over the Detroit River tonight as the Fort Fireworks return to delight for its 67th edition. Good evening. It is one of, if not the biggest nights of the year for downtown Windsor. Thousands flocked to the waterfront for the fireworks tonight, and that includes our own Travis Fortnum. Travis, it was a busy night, and it sounds like the show did not disappoint.
Yeah, that's right, Ricardo. The 67th annual Fort Fireworks Show has officially wrapped now, so people are just heading home. It was nearly 25 minutes of dazzling explosions over the Detroit River. Organizers say more than 10,000 fireworks lit up the night sky tonight, and based on the cheers we could hear all throughout downtown, the show was a hit once again.
I've been here for probably the past 10 years of my life, and I honestly love coming here every year.
It's kind of an exciting experience for me because I've never seen a fire show before.
We really like it. We really like the big explosions and how they shape out at the end.
A lot of lights popping out and shapes and stuff.
It's hot though, really hot, but it's different from what it before. There wasn't that much people here.
It's really fun. We like the big explosion at the end.
Yeah, quite a big explosion at the end is right. The show is estimated to draw about 500,000 people down to the riverfront. That's between Detroit and Windsor. Though I will say, having covered it last year, the crowds here in Windsor were a bit sparse through the afternoon and early evening. Though when the sun went down and the heat let up just a little bit, crowds did kind of pick up. And those who did come out, man, they got quite a spectacular payoff. Ricardo.
Okay, Travis, thank you for that. Yeah, that grand finale, always something worth heading down to the waterfront for. That's CTV's Travis Fortnum for us tonight, covering the Fort Fireworks. Absolutely cannot beat it at all. Well, now to a major development in the conflict in the Middle East. U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire. In a social media post, the president says the warring countries agreed to a complete and total ceasefire that will be phased in over 24 hours, beginning approximately at midnight Eastern Time Tuesday. The agreement coming in the aftermath of Iran's limited attack on American military bases in the Middle East. That is an Iranian rocket headed for a U.S. military base in Qatar in response to America's bombing of Iran's nuclear facilities. Trump says the U.S. was warned by Iran of the attack and that there were no casualties. Now, this map shows the American base in Qatar targeted by Iran. There are still several other U.S. bases in the region, as you can see there, along with Canadian stations at risk in that volatile region.
Certainly, Iran has been seriously degraded by the attacks by Israel. And the recent attack by the United States certainly just dealt a significant blow to the nuclear force. And they're running out of launchers and missiles. Israel on the same side, I mean, they're running out of missiles too. I mean, they carry on this tempo. But at the same time, what more can they do other than continue to pummel buildings? And for the United States, it's actually taken these two countries who are reaching a culminating point and pulled them back and actually brought this thing to an end.
Okay, closer to home, officials say a person was taken to hospital after a fire in Windsor's South Walkerville neighborhood, which investigators say was likely started by a lithium battery failure. Now, this is video sent to CTV News from the area, purporting to show the fire as it raged around 3:30 this afternoon. Officials say the fire burned in a detached garage and report several hydro wires were downed in the area. One person suffered second-degree burns to one of his arms as a result. Damage is pegged at $100,000. Crews are working to clear the area and restore power. Windsor police say a 28-year-old motorcyclist was critically injured in a crash in the city around 9:30 last night. The crash happened at the intersection of Dougal Avenue and the westbound on-ramp to the EC Row. The ensuing cleanup and investigation saw the area closed until 11 a.m. today. Police say the motorcycle was traveling south on Dougal when it collided with an SUV turning onto the expressway on-ramp. The 28-year-old rider was sent to hospital with what police describe as life-threatening injuries. We've got no update as to his condition tonight. Well, police investigation is underway after an alleged break-in and assault in South Windsor. Police say they responded to a home on Askin Avenue just before 3 a.m. on Sunday. They say the suspect attacked a sleeping woman in her own home. After a struggle, the suspect fled, leaving the woman with minor injuries. Police are asking anyone in the area who may have information as to that investigation or any video to come forward. Windsor Ward 2 City Councillor Fabio Costante has resigned. That's after accepting a position as the new CEO of the Windsor-Essex Community Housing Corporation. The next municipal election isn't scheduled until October 26, 2026. City Council will have to decide what to do with that vacancy in the interim. Costante's resignation from council will be effective as of June 26th. He starts in his new role on July 7th. Costante feels he can do more for the community in this new role, considering the ongoing housing crisis.
A lot of the things that I ran on when I first got elected to council in 2018 and then re-elected in 2022 have been, mostly accomplished. Of course, there's going to be some unresolved matters, but for the most part, a lot of the things that I ran on, we've been able to move forward and achieve.
And we have an update on a tentative deal we told you about last week. The City of Windsor's 1,500 some inside workers have ratified a new 4-year deal with more than 88% support. QP 543 says the contract secures wage increases of nearly 13%. Well, after a 3-year delay, work is finally underway to move long-term care beds from Windsor out to Amherstburg. Our Michelle Molesky brings us that update tonight.
Construction started at Fryer and Richmond Streets in Amherstburg this past spring. They're building a new 160-bed long-term care home.
We've been talking about this for a very long time.
Deputy Mayor Chris Gibbs says the idea of a new LTC in town first started in 2019 when the property was sold by the town to Arch Corporation. Just a year before, Amherstburg bought the 3 acres from the Catholic School Board after it closed St. Bernard School.
We're very, very happy to see the work actually begin.
Ontario formally announced the LTC home in 2022. Gibbs says it was delayed because of financing amid soaring expenses.
With the changes in construction costs, they had to come up with a new agreement. We did have to make a few adjustments because they needed to purchase some more town land for their wastewater, their stormwater management plan.
The home should be done by 2027. It would be the second LTC for the community.
It's one of those cradle-to-grave ideas that you can spend your whole life in a small town, which is, I think, unique to Canada in a way. It's very much needed because our current long-term care home, Richmond Terrace, is full.
And with a community center next door and a high school across the park, Gibb is hopeful the location will lead to unique opportunities.
There may be some synergies with, co-op students might be able to help out at the new long-term care. So it's sort of a cluster of buildings.
The Amherstburg project is the redevelopment and transfer of 59 beds currently funded in Windsor at Chateau Park Long-Term Care Home. When Amherstburg opens, the ministry says this location will close. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
Well, let's stay in Amherstburg, where Ontario's golf cart pilot program is coming to Bob Lowe Island, effective immediately. The Ministry of Transportation approved a second application to allow golf carts on roads with speed limits up to 50 kilometers an hour. The pilot runs from April to November and expires in 2031. Well, Carousel of the Nations capped its 50th anniversary with incredible turnout in Windsor-Essex. The Multicultural Council of Windsor-Essex hosts the event every year and reports more than 100,000 people visited villages on the festival's final weekend, of course, the weekend that just passed. That brought overall attendance up to 150,000 over the 2 weekends. MCC head Fred Francis estimates the economic impact at well over $1 million.
It's a testament to the thousands of hours and thousands of people that help put on Carousel. But we can't say thank you enough to the community. And I think it really speaks to the value of diversity in our area and the appreciation of diversity in our area and how Windsor, Essex really is a welcoming community for all people.
Now, those attending Carousel did so navigating and at times suffering through the heat and humidity that's suffocating the region and much of southern Ontario, not to mention even into Quebec. Our Bob Belichico took a look at how people are staying cool and making the most of summer through the record temperatures.
Students from St. Pius School cooling off at On the Beach during their year-end trip.
No, it's really hot, and we've been trying to cool down with water, but it's still really hot.
The heat didn't stop students from having fun. Kids knew how to work their way around the sun and heat.
Just go in the shade a lot and wear a hat and some sunscreen.
No shade, however, on County Road 22, where one lane was closed off after the road buckled. Recent bouts of heavy rain and a sudden temperature increase creates pressure under the surface, causing the pavement to enlarge. This is the second time County Road 22 buckled this spring. The first time was back in May.
It's nice when you're sitting out in the shade and enjoying the river and everything. It's a nice view.
Now, how is this for a nicely shaded spot for Omar and his mom to hang out?
I'm glad to be inside because it is hot outside.
I don't know, I'm looking at you going, man, you're going to melt out here, no?
No, it's a nice breeze coming off the river. Perfect day for fishing. I like the heat, but I don't feel it down here too much. So I come down and I have a nice couple of hours here fishing, and then I go home.
It's not too bad right now, but like I said, I'll probably just be out here for 30 minutes, not too long.
This is Chris from Michigan, staying active during his trip to Windsor despite the temperatures.
We have a towel and, of course, the water, so, yeah, got to do the little things and, you know, and not stay out and push it, so, especially as you get older.
Stay hydrated. Eat some fruits, some electrolytes. You know, you get your potassium, your magnesium, your sodium. Stay hydrated. Don't push it too much. Listen to your body.
Daryl Townsend, trainer at True Fitness, says if you're out and feeling off, tone it down just a bit and listen to your body.
You're not training just for today. You got tomorrow and the next day, and the rest of the summer is going to be pretty hot. So, you know, train for the next day, not just the moment.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Well, we will have more on this heat and humidity coming up later in the show. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison going to fill us in on some of the details and the dangers after the break.
We have little signs set up so that the people know that we have lemonade.
Still ahead, our Robert Lothian shows us how a Bell River family is using hope and heart to keep a loved one home. CTV meteorologist Julie Atchison joining us now for a check of the forecast. And Julie, story of the day is the heat and the humidity.
Yeah, heat warning widespread, Ricardo, across southern Ontario. Yesterday, 18 records were broken. Windsor added to that list today, breaking a record. In terms of this heat, the humidex has also been a big weather story. I just wanted to show you when the humidex hits 40 to 45, that's when we start to see great discomfort and avoid outdoor strenuous activities. And above 45, which we have seen in parts of southern Ontario with this heat wave, that's when things get a bit dangerous and people can have possible heat stroke. Now, in terms of our high temperature today, hitting 33.9, breaking the previous record of 33.1 set back in 1983, and a number of records breaking across southern Ontario. We're not seeing much relief at night either. So in terms of it breaking the heat, extremely warm out there. It was beautiful for the fireworks, clear conditions, absolutely picture perfect. The winds easing off quite nicely, but no break from the heat overnight. 23 to 24 across most of the region, a couple warmer spots towards Leamington. Now, we do have a stationary boundary that's going to slowly start to slump in. So we've had an area of high pressure at the surface and in the upper atmosphere. So what that means is loss of stability, and we didn't see any cloud cover today. That's going to change tomorrow. The reason, the upper ridge breaks down, but will remain under the surface ridge. So as we go up in the atmosphere, things will start to change just just a bit. This is the frontal boundary that will be slumping southward as we head over the next 24 hours, but not bringing us relief. It could bring us a few showers, possibility of a pop-up thunderstorm. Now, it's going to clear parts of southern Ontario, so as we head just south of Georgian Bay, the front will clear that area and temperatures will be dropping off. But for us in Essex County, we're not expecting the temperatures to break. Now, it won't be quite as oppressive over the coming days, but we're still going to be dealing with a high humidex. So as we head into tomorrow, 34, feeling like the low 40s, winds out of the southwest, 20 with gusts of 40. Forecast model not indicating a whole lot in the way of precipitation, so we're just introducing a slight probability. There's instability, though, so with that comes the chance for some showers. Hopefully, we'll get into a little bit of rainfall in the area over the next couple of days, but what happens is as this front stalls out, we will see an area of low pressure riding along that boundary, and that's why we'll be introducing the chance for showers in the forecast. Now, that's going to start heading into tomorrow, about a 40% chance in the afternoon, but that doesn't mean everyone will be seeing some rain. This is very pop-up and isolated. Wednesday, Thursday into Friday, becoming a bit more widespread Thursday and Friday, but it looks fairly dry Wednesday. Once again, we could see a shower develop. Daytime highs, as you can see, 27 to 30. That means we're going to see a significant amount of sunshine. To get that warm, of course, we can't have the cloud cover with us all day. So chance for showers. We will see the humidity not quite as oppressive Wednesday, Thursday, but still feeling, Ricardo, like the mid-30s. Weekend looks good at this point. Mix of sun and clouds Saturday and Sunday with daytime highs from 29 to 32. We're in it to win it. Summer conditions across the region have settled in and extreme heat and humidity holds, just not quite as intense as we move through midweek. Back to you.
Julie, thank you. As we turn to markets, and a good day for the TSX, up 112 points off the back of strength in technology and materials. You can see the Dow and NASDAQ also climbing 375 and 184 points, respectively. The Canadian dollar heading in the other direction today, down to 72.70 cents U.S. Gold up more than $9 an ounce, and oil down more than $5 a barrel. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Prime Minister Mark Carney was in Belgium today meeting with European leaders to sign a new defense pact. But as CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports, events in the Middle East have taken center stage.
A morning visit to a military cemetery kick-started Prime Minister Mark Carney's first full day in Belgium. A ceremony to honor hundreds of fallen Canadian soldiers buried here after the First and Second World War. Ahead of this Canada-EU summit, a meeting between Carney and European leaders focused on joint security and defense.
Very, very warm welcome to this EU-Canada summit.
We look forward to moving to an ever closer partnership with the European Union.
Here, Carney signed a new security and defense pact with European Union leaders aimed at diversifying its trade and defense industrial partnerships, billed as a first step towards more defense procurement from Europe and an eventual plan to get Canada into the Rearm Europe military program.
It will help us deliver on our new requirements for capabilities more rapidly and more effectively. It will help build our industries, secure our jurisdictions.
But Carney's European trip has been dominated already by the escalating war in the Middle East. The Prime Minister spoke with President Trump overnight and says de-escalation was a focus of their conversation.
Where the state of Iran has been a sponsor of terrorism, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and beyond. And where at least in our opinion, Canada has listed the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization, active terrorist organization. These are violations of international law.
Carney travels to The Hague in the morning for a highly anticipated NATO meeting where it's expected the conflict in the Middle East will dominate too. NATO's Secretary General was pressed on it today.
That is why NATO has said Iran should not, and this is a consistent position of NATO, Iran should not have its hands on a nuclear weapon. So, and I would not agree that this is against international law, what the US did.
The Hague summit will also see the alliance look at a new baseline spending target of 5% of GDP. Canada only this month committed to meeting the current 2% target this fiscal year, a decade after the alliance agreed to it. Jeremy Charles, CTV News, Brussels.
More now on the extreme heat wave covering southern Ontario and parts of Quebec. CTV's Pauline Chan looks at the risks for our little ones.
A splash in some cool, refreshing water is just what the doctor ordered for this heat wave. But for the very young, the elderly, those with respiratory issues, or with no air conditioning, some extra caution must be taken to avoid heat-related illness. Babies and toddlers are especially vulnerable.
First of all, their sweat glands are a little bit more immature. Their internal regulations are not as efficient. And they also have a higher surface area to body ratio. So they don't sweat as much.
Plus, they can't talk yet.
They can't tell us that they're overheated or dehydrated.
Dr. Natasha Kolia says heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke are all part of a spectrum.
We start with heat like skin rashes. We start with heat syncope or fainting, and then heat cramps.
The next level of symptoms is heat exhaustion, when you start sweating excessively.
Other things you might see with heat exhaustion is just feeling fatigue, flushed skin. You might feel a little dry around the lips, dry cracked lips. You'll feel tired. You'll maybe sometimes even feel dizzy, lightheaded, faint, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain.
And heat stroke is a life-threatening condition when the body is no longer able to sweat to cool off.
Now there might be organ damage, talking about heart, lung, kidneys, and even brain. We may see seizures with heat stroke. That is where, if you do not recognize those symptoms and you do not seek medical attention early, those can be fatal.
Dr. Kolia says during a heat wave such as this, sick kids might see several cases of heat-related illness in a week. Her advice for parents: keep a close eye on the weather forecast so you're prepared for the heat, avoid going out at the hottest times of the day, and keep the kids hydrated and not just water.
Hydration with electrolytes is super important.
She also points out that children overheat 3 to 5 times faster than adults, so never leave them or even your pets unattended in a car for even a few minutes. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Pure Country 89, Windsor's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
The town of Amherstburg officially unveiled 8 new pickleball courts outside the Libero Center this weekend.
2, 3, the courts are in!
The project to bring the town's first official pickleball courts was about $480,000. Amherstburg's Pickleball Association pitched in $24,000 and plans to continue supporting the sport, hoping to attract tournaments to the town.
So I can recall in the early days talking to some of the counselors and saying, I just attended this phenomenal tournament at such and such a place, and we want to bring this to Amherstburg. So stay tuned. We're going to be hosting some very grand tournaments.
And the annual Rob and Tricia Morneau Memorial Baseball Tournament has raised a record $10,000 for kids in need. The money will support at-need families with registration costs for Riverside Minor Baseball and Riverside Minor Hockey.
Every year, you know, it just gives us so much pleasure to know that we're doing this in his honor, to keep his memory alive and help these kids that may not be able to play otherwise.
Okay, Julia is back with a wrap of the 7-day forecast. Julia, was a hot one tonight for fireworks, and it's going to stay that way into tomorrow morning.
Yeah, temperature-wise, not much of a break overnight. Normally this time of year, we're talking about opening up the windows and you can let things cool off just a bit. And that's not the case in this forecast. I know many of you, without air conditioning, using fans to keep cool. Of course, temperature-wise, feeling like the low to mid-40s. That's where we'll be tomorrow. There is a chance for a pop-up shower. Could see a thunderstorm, a bit more cloud cover expected in the afternoon, but still a full day of sun will take the temperature potentially to 34, so we'll be looking at some records once again. On Wednesday, a 40% chance of showers in 27, 29 on Thursday, still feeling like the mid-30s, not the mid-40s, so we will get a bit of a break from the intensity of the extreme heat. The weekend will feature a mix of sun and cloud with daytime highs anywhere from 29 to 32. Ricardo?
Okay, Julie, thank you for that. Yeah, get ready, folks. Still going to be an extremely hot one tomorrow. Well, finally for us tonight, a 6-year-old's lemonade stand in Belle River is about heart, hope, and home. Landon Bevan is hoping to turn lemons into a cutting-edge procedure to keep someone close to his heart at home to make memories for years to come. Our Robert Lothian brings us their story tonight.
Under a blazing sun, Landon Bevan is hard at work.
Thanks, boys. Good job.
The 6-year-old, along with his family, serving lemonade Saturday outside their home.
We have little signs set up so that the people know that we have lemonade.
The Belle River resident has been crafting ideas to raise money for a cause near and dear to his heart.
We have like little balloons, like knowing that like we have like my grandpa has cancer.
He's pretty smart for a 6-year-old.
Landon's grandfather, Roy Knight, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in February.
The chemo really takes a toll on somebody. It, you know, out of the 2 weeks, I normally have 4 good days out of the 2 weeks.
After months of chemotherapy, he hopes to undergo nanoknife, a procedure using pulses of electricity to destroy cancer cells that's not offered in Canada.
There are a lot of people who we have met through online support groups, but also from around the world who have done nanoknife. It's added 10 or more years to their life.
The family is hoping to raise about $80,000 for nanoknife surgery in Florida, and with rates of pancreatic cancer on the rise, they feel Canada has more work to do.
There really does need to be more research done on pancreatic cancer treatment guidelines.
For Landon and the rest of Knight's grandchildren, each fundraiser is just hope for another day of memories.
Go fishing.
He goes fishing?
Yeah, and he makes the funniest jokes.
He's pretty funny.
The surgery has been tentatively set for July 24th if they can raise enough.
Hopefully this, nanoknife helps to see the kids grow up.
Robert Lothian, CTV News, Belle River.
Well, we are wishing all the best for the Bevan family and that Landon can keep hearing Grandpa's funny jokes. That is our time this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow at 6. Until then, I'm Ricardo, Veneza, and for everyone here at CTV on both sides of the camera, have a great night.